Hello everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to my first YouTube of 2023, here on Walk-In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom for this upcoming week of January 8th through January 14th, 2023. My name is Claire Candy Hoff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003, which I write about in my award-winning #1 Amazon International bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. Welcome back, my regular listeners and my loyal followers. A big welcome to those who are listening for the very first time. For those who are new, through my full-time business, Angel Healing House, which I created 20 years ago. I'm a Reiki master teacher, having taught hundreds and hundreds of Reiki practitioners and master teachers around the world. I am also an intuitive counselor, channel, clairvoyant tarot card reader, and I also offer the wonderful recharging, re-energizing, clearing Reiki healing energy sessions. I'm also the host of my weekly Angel Healing House blog talk radio show. We're now in our 12th year, and when I say we, I am speaking about my angelic family who I am part of, and we are called the Posse of Angels. I have gathered such a beautiful community over the past 11 years, and many of those in the community are so grateful that our messages have helped them, just like this longtime listener who recently wrote me. Dear Candy, thank you for being there on Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio every week, all of these years, to help me through my journey, and many times be there as a shoulder to cry on when life wasn't giving me immediately what I wanted or gifting it to me in a very different way. Your show has been a lifeline for me many times, and you've always helped me recenter in truth and light. Bless you, Claire. If you need a lifeline to help you to recenter your life, please do phone me at Angel Healing House on 831-277-3716. Do remember, that's Pacific Standard Time, as we are in Santa Monica, California. Or you can visit my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. I'd also like to thank those who have made donations, who have enjoyed the messages, the free content. If you'd like to make a donation, I've left my PayPal link in the description box down below, along with my contact details. But let's start, as we do every week, by looking into the astrological heavens to see what planetary energies are currently happening. As we start this January 2023, many of us may have a burning urge inside of ourselves to hit the ground running to start this new year. Now, the reason for this is because it's bringing positive changes in alignment with our soul's mission. It is releasing us from blocks that stood in our way, from making changes that we may have wanted to make in 2021 and 2022, but no matter how hard we tried, we just couldn't make things happen. We are now stepping aside from engaging with anyone or anything that is misaligned energy for our highest and best service, because we are now in full resonance with the changes we have been building towards for our highest and best good over the past 3 years. With this done, these changes and our soul mission can finally flow into us. And what wonderful news is that? Now, in order to do this, yesterday's full moon in Cancer is asking us to take life at a much slower pace. With both Mercury and Mars being retrograde, the influence of Cancer is getting us to take a long, hard emotional look at and review what is working in our life and what is not working any longer, so that we can get our lives back in balance. This review is a good thing because as we approach mid-month, Mars, and Mercury will station direct, and many will receive clarity and forward motion about what they need to do to live the life of their intentions, wishes, and dreams. With 2023 being a 7-year in numerology, it's focused on self-awareness and inner work. This retrograde energy is perfect to go within in order to be crystal clear what is really important to us. When we take the time to surrender to stillness and really ask ourselves this question, we may be faced with answers that go directly against our families, society, our communities, and may deem that it's not acceptable for us to want and to have these dreams and go after our goals. And with the message of taking our time to surrender in silence and really go within, my angelic family, the posse of angels, suggested that we seek to create a year of grace in 2023. Now, I was recently teaching tarot to a young lady, and I asked her if she had ever read any books on this subject. She said she did not understand the purpose of reading a book, as it was just a long-winded waste of time to get to a point. I found her statement to be greatly representative of where we have lost balance with our humanness and our ability to savor and to taste the very marrow of life. With her being a teenager in this modern technological world, she was completely justified in the way that she has been brought up and introduced to life. For machines have told us that immediacy matters. If she needs to know an answer to a question, all she doesn't need to do any research, distill information, or practice discernment. All she needs to do is to ask Alexa or search on Google for her answers, which, by the way, are many times slanted and biased information to push a particular agenda. I pondered on our conversation and thought that life is not a series of getting to the point, getting to the information fastest. It's not a contest or a race to be sped through, no matter how much we put an expectation of immediacy on our intentions coming to fruition. And if we approach life in this way, there are certainly no winners, and just those who have lost out on the breathtaking beauty of God's simple gifts. Life is an extraordinary blessing to be savored, relished, and treasured in every waking moment. Just think back over 2022. Can you really call any delicious moments that you purposely carved out of any 24-hour day to pay reverence to this thing that we so often take for granted called life? Did you take the time to show the universe that the gentle, unhurried unfolding of life really matters? Or is it just to get to the point? It's important to remember so that we don't miss out on the journey. Because as my young teenage student, she just wants to get to the point of the destination. Everyone, the rivers do not speed up hurrying along just to arrive at destinations. And the gentle unfolding petals of the flowers, well, they do not think themselves losers if they don't open up quickly. This thing called life is such a fleeting moment. In my novel, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, I share with readers that because there is no time across the veil, when we cross over, that a human life of 80 to 100 years is a mere blip of time registering only about 2 or 3 weeks across the veil. If you knew that you had only 2 or 3 weeks to live, what would you do differently? There are many people who wait for a cataclysmic moment to shock them into asking this question. Perhaps they receive some devastating news, like a terminal diagnosis, to get them to consider how they really wish to live. You know, in 2023, my angelic family, the posse of angels, and I are suggesting that we consciously live this year by creating a life, a reality in which it's not merely about getting to the point, but purposely, passionately, and reverently taking time along the journey in which you fashion a beautiful life for yourself, so that when you look back a year from now on January 1st, 2024, you will smile knowing that you and you alone purposely created a year of grace that brought you amazing experiences, moments of utter peace, and overwhelming connectivity and joy in your heart. If you haven't done this yet, start now. Start today. Here at Walking Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom, we do pull oracle cards, tarot cards, runes, and the rune that came out for today is this one. It's known as Rune, and Rune is the rune of communication, union, and reunion. Now, the posse of angels is saying that it's no coincidence that this rune of reunion, Rune, showed up during a Mercury retrograde, when people or situations from the past present themselves once again. It's also a rune that heralds that ultimate union that comes at the end of a journey, when what is above and what is below are united and that become one manifested. This could be our wishes coming true into physical form. At this time, we've done all the hard work and are not intended to rely entirely upon our own power. For Spirit is doing all the heavy lifting, and all we need to do is to release and surrender all that no longer serves us. Do not be focused on movement, but be content to wait, removing and letting go of all resistances. What we are concerned with is the union of our divine essence with our physical incarnation, and this can be done by eliminating any excesses in our lives. During a Mercury retrograde, clean out those closets, clean out the papers, clean out your desk drawers, get rid of those clothes which you never wear. Go through all of those things and either gift them to somebody you know, give them to Goodwill, pass them along. It will create space. I love that within this rune, Rune is this rune. If we see it when it's cut, if that little piece there is cut, it becomes the rune Wunjo. And what is Wunjo? Wunjo is the rune of joy. And when we release and clean out anything that no longer serves us, it's perfect to do during a Mercury retrograde. We are no longer burdened, but feel this great sense of space in which we create liberation, and we feel much lighter, and we get a sense of freedom. So that's a wonderful rune to come out for today, that rune of communication, union, and reunion. Could be communication with ourselves, but it could be creating space for new communication to be coming in. Because remember, Mercury is the planet of communication, and when it's retrograde, a lot of things and information for us stop coming in. But when it goes forward, there's forward movement for the emails and for the phone calls and for all those things to come in to give us information on how we can move our lives forward. So let's go to our oracle cards, and I went to my Sword of Light Archangel Michael cards. These are lovely cards by Radley Valentine. And the first card that came out, I asked, and they gave me a story of 3 cards, okay, to read them in a story. Can you see that light? Okay, here we go. The first card is a number 18. It's a 9. 9 is the card in tarot or in numerology. Keep going. You're almost there. You're almost going to complete something. And look at the butterflies around the person in this card, because they're about transformation, bringing light to that which needs to be transformed. So, and its message is, let it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. The confirmation of this message that was delivered in our rune Rido. It's easier to release and surrender what is out of alignment if we ask ourselves if we've given the past power over our present happiness, because we might be afraid that we will never be happy in the future. Now, the posse of angels is asking us to have the courage to stand in our own power and live in the now. Get rid of anything that is still holding you back, and that includes letting go of people who no longer serve you, letting go of situations, jobs, even our diets, getting rid of those things which are poisonous to our body, like artificial coloring, flavoring, preservatives, additives, color flavoring and colors, those things that lower our immune system. A very helpful exercise that I have done with my clients through my business, Angel Healing House, is to take them through severing the energetic cords or connections that may be holding them back and influencing and stopping them from letting go of the past. But once we do this, as we said in Rido, it opens up space for us to then welcome the new to come in. But once we let things go, once we actively let things go, we no longer feel weighed down by the past. And what has shown up in our second oracle card in this story is be a light to others. So because we've created a stronger, more steady, stable, and secure foundation for ourselves by honoring and respecting ourselves, letting go of anything that no longer serves us, and we're no longer influenced and held down by the past, we regain our own power and ability to focus on being the highest vibrational frequency that we can be. Now, this creates a beautiful light within us. And we then can be an example for others to do exactly the same. The buildup of light within us when we are no longer weighed down by the past then causes our third message in this story to manifest, which is a number 28 or a number 1. With its message, someone new is coming in. An important new relationship is on the horizon. Open your mind and heart so that happiness can enter your life. I love this. With the releasing, we create space for a new beginning, for fresh starts, for important new relationships, career, business, and or romantic to appear on the horizon of our lives. And look at those doves. The doves are a sign for me to be that of the Holy Spirit, and this is divine, karmically fated, destined for these new relations to come in. Many people say it's our new soul tribe that is coming in to support and to help us with our projects, and that we can connect with and collaborate with. So such a beautiful message here about first creating that space during this time of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, where we let go, we surrender all that is not serving us anymore, and we can this enables us to then focus on our high vibrational frequency, on no longer being weighed down by the past. We feel lighter, and then we can allow more light to enter us. And then, of course, the third one is someone new coming in. We attract those of the light towards us. So, beautiful cards there. I do have another deck, which I just bought, which is called L Key. An L key in French is translated as she, who. And these two cards came out and gave me a wonderful story. The first card is Manara. Look at the difference between these two cards. Exactly what we are speaking about. For Manara, this is one. Manara is she who waits, with its message of patience, waiting, and determination. Something wonderful to do during a Mercury retrograde, because communication slows down and life in general slows down. And so we see her calmly sitting in the dark, making room for the ethereal butterfly of light in her hands to come to her. She knows that by having patience and having determined commitment, then what she wishes and wants for in her heart wants her too. And she will draw this to herself in divine timing. And then the second card, look at the difference. The second card comes in, which is Blanche, which is she who brings light, with its message of light, serenity, and being a beacon. Where did we just see this? By letting go and allowing. You're the light. Then you become the light. I just love this. I love this story. Because we've had the faith and trust in that, in the time that it takes to manifest our dreams and wishes, the divine timing will make the background darkness in Manara fade away. And we, like the Blanche inside of us, the white, will experience the light of our fulfilled intentions. That is what being so-called in the dark, or some people think that they're being held back, will help them to then come to this lightness. You know, many people equate that with diamonds that are put under pressure. Coal being put under pressure in order for diamonds to be formed. You know, the butterfly, the caterpillar going into the chrysalis to then take time in the darkness to become that butterfly. And of course, many of us have tasted wine that has been perfectly timed, and it's now the right vintage to be able to be savored and to be tasted to its fullest. So let's go to our tarot cards and see what comes out for us this coming week. I hope everybody had a safe and happy January, New Year. I'm wishing you all a very happy New Year, and that you're keeping warm in those parts of the country that are very cold and freezing temperatures at the moment. Let me see here. Oh, this one. Let me see. This one was left behind. This was the Lovers. It's the choice card. Many people are going to be presented with lots of choices in this year of 2023. Remember, go with your heart. Go with your intuition. You know, you might be presented with two jobs. One will pay you an exorbitant amount of money, but it really doesn't float your boat. You may be doing something that your heart is not really in it, and another one pays you a very good salary, but it's something that you just believe in wholeheartedly and you love doing. Know that if you go with your heart and you go with your intuition, that in the long run, it will help and it will bring rewards beyond your wildest dreams. So whatever you're presented with, take time to go over, take time to sit with it in your heart and see what your intuition tells you. Ask your angels to send you signs around which decision to make. That could be where to live. That could be what job to take, what businesses to align yourself with, what projects to collaborate and connect with. But when we go with our hearts, it'll never steer us wrong. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The first card coming out for us, and by the way, this is my deck of cards, and it will be printed in 2023. That I will promise you. So I'll make sure I tell everyone when this beautiful deck of cards is coming out. So the Ten of Swords, that assures us that this darkness that we're in now, in this darkness, in this time of standstill, is showing us that bringing finality, and as we are going towards the light on the horizon. Now, Mercury stations direct on January 18th, but do remember it takes about a week, 10 days, sometimes 2 weeks to get out of its shadow phase in order for full forward motion. So that will take us to really the end of February. Not that things can't happen before then, but full forward movement should happen at the end of January, going into February. But this assures us that that time of things feeling like we've been stabbed or held back or not being able to do something, that this time is over. The tens are about finality, and that time is over. So let's go to the next card. Next card. This finality brings a day of resurrection. It brings a new phase of our lives. Now, and many of the cards spoke about going from the darkness, going from Manara to the light, to that darkness, to the light. Here we spoke about letting go. Letting go in this time of darkness. Where are those cards? Letting go in this time of darkness so that we can be the light. This is showing us that we are stepping out from the darkness of the woods into the light of the higher divine consciousness. There's God, Source, Creator, and there's Archangel Gabriel trumpeting that communication. Look at all the butterflies. Butterflies came up in the other card as well, about transformation, about our lives transforming and setting our feet on a very new path, because it's a new phase of our life. It is a, for many, I just heard, for many, it's a second opportunity. It's a second chance for us to then put out our creative efforts or connect with somebody who we can collaborate with or who wants to support us or all of those things. But it sets our feet on a brand new path, a path in which things are lit up for us so that we can clearly find our way to be of best service. Next card that's coming out for us is the Knight of Wands. Look at the movement in this card. This is the card of moving. It's the card of traveling. It's the card of being so excited about starting again with that forward movement. Out of all the knights in the deck, I call the Knight of Wands the ants in the pants knight, because he's just so excited to get started. But remember, that's really important, to be passionate. But when it comes to decisions, take your time in making them, on where to move to and where to travel and what movement to take forward. But the Knight of Wands always heralds a time when there will be movement on the horizon. I just love Mercury retrogrades. I don't know about you, but I know that every time there is a Mercury retrograde, The new is coming in. So you better clean out the closet. You better get rid of those papers. You better finish up the projects so that when the new comes in, you'll be all prepared to just move forward and won't be held back by anything. After that, the Four of Cups comes in. Four of Cups is a gift from God. It is something that is unseen and comes in an unexpected way, but it's something which fulfills our emotional tank, our emotional fulfillment, and it's something that is gifted to us. I always like to see the Four of Cups as something that perhaps we've been longing for, but we haven't really understood how to get that stability, security, and stronger foundation. And just like this fellow here is looking at his treasure chest and he's missing that cup, all he needs to do is turn around and see that the mermaid has his fourth cup. And a lot of times we don't see the blessing because we're not looking for it. We are looking at the things we lack rather than just turning our attention to spirit and saying, I am open to to the way, shape, or form. I let go of my expectations and attachments as to how my wishes need to be fulfilled. And then we need to have the faith to step forward when that happens, the courage and the faith. Oh, I love the next card. We got another 10. We've got another 10. We started with a 10. This is the 10 of Cups. This is the emotional fulfillment card. Now, this fourth cup that we're going to be given, this blessing, this gift from the universe, from God, Source Creator, and the angels to fulfill our wishes to be of best service, will be something that we absolutely love. It will fill us up. Will fill all of our cups up with this wonderful feeling of not only serving ourselves, it's something that we're passionate about, but it will also be of service to the greater good. And when we marry those two things, can't have a higher purpose in life. Next card that's coming out for us is our wishes coming true. I love to see the rainbow. And the rainbow is a symbol of not only our wishes coming true, but the flow that is going to be happening into our life, being given to us, and that we're going to draw to ourselves with the help of the angelic realm. And the Temperance card is all about balance in our lives. So it's going to bring in something which is really going to, it's going to be like long-term money in the bank for us. If you want to, they're saying long-term money in the bank as far as feeling this prosperous abundance feeling inside of us, doing what we love doing, and yes, being financially remunerated for it as well. Next card coming out for us is the Chariot. This is another card. This is a second card of movement. Movement. You can see movement in this card. Look at the swirling in this card. You can see movement even in the 10 of Swords, with the movement in the waves parting for us like the Red Sea. But the Chariot is not only about movement. It's not only about travel. It's about recognition. It's about recognition and rewards and promotions, and perhaps things have been stagnant in that you've been putting yourself out there and have gotten very little recognition coming back in. Well, now hold on to your keister, because this is a time of recognition and finally that movement forward in being recognized for who you are, perhaps your services, perhaps you've written books and put them out there, and now will become that recognized author out there. Next card, how many? They said a couple more. Oh, this is interesting. Look, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. I just said about our long-term security. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, this is our second night about taking action, because knights are about taking action in the tarot. This is about our long-term security. It's about that really strong foundation of ours when it comes to our financial lives, our money, our material goods, and those things that are really grounded, we can take to the bank. Look at the 4 hooves on the ground, very strong, stable energies that are coming in around these things that we're going to be offered. No get-rich-quick schemes here. It's just putting in, our hard efforts and our determined passion and creativity, and creating this really secure foundation for ourselves. And the last card that's coming in, isn't this nice? It's the 9 of Cups. Second card about our wishes coming true. And so many parallels in this reading. The 2 Knights, the 2 Tens, the financial security, the gift from God. And now we have your wish is my command, which is the 9 of Cups. If you could realize something in 2023, everyone, is that with every thought that you have, with every word that you speak, and with every feeling that you have, you are creating your reality. So knowing this, please do be very vigilant about the words you use, the thoughts you use, and also about the feelings in your heart, for these are creating the energies of which your reality will show back to you. And that's the messages for this week. Go out, everybody, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Do remember that my Angel Healing House blog talk radio show, now in its 12th year, because I started it in January 2012, airs every week on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I channel information in the first 25 minutes. And then I hand the show over to the switchboard and I give free mini angel readings, which I will continue in this 12th year. So maybe you will call in to Angel Healing House, the weekly show, blog talk radio show, this coming Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you're not able to be with us live on the show, you can always go to my Angel Healing House blog talk radio page, and going back the 11 years, all of my shows are archived there and can be listened to at any time on any date. So go out and fashion a beautiful life for yourself. I'm wishing you love and angel blessings, and I look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.